Are we ready?
Good morning. Can you guys hear me?
It's faint, but I hear you.
Okay. Alrighty. That a little better?
A little bit, yeah.
Let me find some earplugs.
Okay.
Okay, we got a great program lined up for you today. I hope everybody's ready. I see all of our guest speakers are here and SoCal Gas is in the house. Um, Let me go ahead and get started and welcome everyone to Black in the AM, How to Contract with California's Utilities. This is part 4. Today is our final session in this 4-part series, and today we're going to be exploring what opportunities are available at SoCal Gas. They're our program sponsor for today and for this 4-part series. And before we go any further, happy Veterans Day to any veterans out there. And is it too early to start saying happy holidays?
Not really.
Before we get started, for those of you that don't know, GLAC is dedicated to the growth and development of Black-owned businesses in the greater LA area. We produce technical workshops, heavily advocate at the local and federal level, and we provide access to capital and other financial resources. But more importantly, we create opportunity, access, and entrance to networking environments so that you can meet folks like Vaughn Williams and the rest of the staff today who are key influencers and can help us change our lifestyle and get recognized and go after certain opportunities. As we usually do, we'd like to invite all of our guests to do a little virtual networking by putting your name, company, and contact information in the chat box. That way we'll get a chance to see who's in the room, be able to meet each other, maybe do some business. You'll also use that chat box to put your questions in, and we'll take those after our presentations. I want to give a shout out to the GLAC staff today for coordinating today's programs. That's Naomi Scott, our operations director, and Chanel Frampton, our program director. Thank you both for all of your hard work. So let's get started. So at this time, it's my pleasure to introduce Vaughn Williams III, event sponsor and program manager of supplier diversity for SoCal Gas Company. In this capacity, he is responsible for ensuring the advancement of small, minority, and underrepresented businesses. Over the last 18 years of his career in management, he's had the distinct honor of implementing several manuals on resource planning, career strategies, workforce etiquette, and human management, along with moderating various national panels on the topics of procurement and supply diversity. He currently resides in the Los Angeles area and enjoys outdoor recreational activities such as cycling, running, and nature walks. And he is a Pisces?
Taurus.
Taurus. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my good pleasure to introduce my friend, today's sponsor from SoCal Gas, Vaughn Williams III.
Well, good morning and thank you, Angela. You know, as I think about the progress that we've made in our uh, goal of reaching minority suppliers in the GLAC community, it brings me joy. Brings me joy for several reasons. One, because of the tenacious spirit of the suppliers, the resiliency of the suppliers, but most importantly, their ability to pivot in times like these. Each of you that are on the call today represent an organization, a business, or an entity that is striving to go higher. And for that, I commend you. You've probably been through many tumultuous times over the last 20 months, but yet you're still in business. And that counts for a lot. I was in Sacramento this week, and as I walked through downtown Sacramento, pretty much one in every three businesses was closed down permanently. That to me was heartbreaking in the sense that that meant economic wealth had depleted. Someone's household had to recycle or repivot to understand what the new dimension of life would look like. So for you to still be in business, kudos. Today, I just want to say thank you for not only being here, but having the fortitude to want to learn more and do more. You know, it's oftentimes in industries of entrepreneurship that you can quickly give up. Doors are slammed in your face. You don't pretty much get the loan or the funding that you need to make payroll. Your sponsors don't come through, or your suppliers don't actually have the materials that you need. Something always happens, but you endure. You stay the course. And so for that, you are to be commended. SoCal Gas takes great pride and pleasure in bringing programs to this like you, to you. We take pleasure in understanding the needs of the community, but most importantly, we take pride in working with the GLAC community. GLAC has been side by side with SoCal Gas for many years, and for that, we thank you. If you're not a member of GLAC, we encourage you to join, as the programs that they are offering don't come easily. They're out pounding the pavement, seeking corporate support to ensure that you, the business owners, have an opportunity to succeed in extenuating times such as these. So without saying any more, I just want to encourage you to believe in yourself and the power that lies within you, and know that you can make a difference through business and through opportunity. Learn as much as you can, get as much as you can, and maintain as many relationships as you can. And with that, I thank you for being here today, and I turn it back over to Angela.
Thank you, Vaughn. I understand I am hard to hear. I apologize for the technical difficulties, but we're going to keep it pushing, and I won't be speaking much more after this. So at this time, we're going to meet some of the speakers from SoCal Gas that are going to take about 10 minutes, and they're going to briefly introduce themselves and then talk about some opportunities that they have at SoCal Gas in their various departments. Let's start with Ann Maturi. Hi, Ann. You want to? You look surprised.
Are you doing it alphabetically or what? Well, good morning. Nice to meet you, Angela, and thank you so much to Vaughan for giving me this opportunity to sit down and have discussions with various African American vendors. I actually have been with SoCal Gas, same time period with Vaughan Williams. We started at the same time. We've known each other since we started. I work in environmental services in the planning and project support group. And this is the first point of contact that you would have with any project that requires environmental oversight. I also support environmental services with managing all the contracts for environmental services, for SoCal Gas environmental services across the service territory. I am what is known as a contract delegate. So apart from being a project manager, I'm also a contract delegate. And my work as a project manager is to oversee, to support actually most, I support project managers to ensure that projects are staying within environmental compliance. So the permitting, for pre-construction, post-construction, training, environmental training. So all that kind of stuff, I bring together a group of subject matter experts together to review the projects on different disciplines, and then we clear the project and support the project as towards completion. I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you, Anne. What about Miss Natalie Russell? Hey, Natalie. Okay, I know they don't hear me, but I don't hear you. It's just me. Can't hear. Unmute. Can you guys see her? It's the day of technical difficulties. Okay. Oh, say something. Okay, all right. No, we can't hear. All right, let's try something else. I don't know if it's my computer. What about Emma? I see Emma's beautiful face there. We'll come back to you, Miss Natalie. Emma, can you unmute and introduce yourself? Oh, okay. Just 1 minute.
Angela, we've been having some problems internally. I think, Emma, you're supposed to be on. You're still on mute.
Oh, I can't hear anything. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, yeah. So if anyone announced me, I honestly, I can't. That's why I wrote it in the chat. I can hear Vaughn well, but I couldn't hear Angela or Natalie at all.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so is this my chance to introduce myself? Sorry,
Yes.
Oh, okay. Hi, my name is Emma Riascos, and I'm a senior category manager in the major projects portfolio here at SoCalGas. I work on the contracting and for services and sometimes materials for all of our major infrastructure. And as of late, I've also been working on some of our hydrogen and renewable projects that are gaining a lot of traction here at the company. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So anything contractual when it comes to compressor stations, some pipeline work, renewables, there's a lot of different projects that are being thrown our way, but anything that's considered capital and major generally requires a lot of planning ahead, working with EPC companies. Some of these projects can go up anywhere between $700 to $1 billion in budget. So we have a lot of things coming up, a few of our compressor station projects coming up that we can discuss during our breakout session.
Thank you, Emma. Next, we'll hear from Victoria.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we hear you.
Hi, everyone. Yay. My name is Victoria Lainito. I am Senior Category Management Advisor and also a Supplier Diversity Champion. I've been with the company now 3 years. And is this now the time, Vaughn, to go over various opportunities, or do we do that at a breakout session? I wasn't sure.
Angela, how do you want them to do it? Do you want them to do it all at once, or do you want them to first introduce themselves and then we go back?
Let's do it all at once.
Okay, go ahead, Victoria.
Okay, so Vaughn, what I was thinking about doing is actually sharing a couple of the slides that that we have where we have listed the various opportunities. Would that be all right? I don't know if I can do that.
That's perfectly
though.
fine. If you have the ability to share, please do.
Yes, give me just 1 moment. I'll give that to you.
How would I do that? I don't
She's
think
going to
I've
give
done that
you.
on Zoom. Oh, okay, got
She's
it.
going to give you the rights.
Okay.
Yeah, that wasn't good. This is Natalie. Can I be heard now?
Yes.
But
And
I can't
seen.
hear you.
Oh no.
I'll keep trying.
By chance, do you have your keyboard on mute, like the actual mute button on your keyboard? Because if that's muted, then you can't hear it. Well, I guess she can't hear us. So whatever I'm saying, she can't hear. Maybe I'll
I can
text
hear you
her.
now, Victoria,
Oh, perfect. Oh, we can hear you too.
and
Okay,
you can
good.
hear me too.
Yes, yes. So should I share or just maybe I'll just talk through it then if I don't think I see the prompt to share.
Natalie, you should have the little green share your screen at the bottom, and you should be allowed to do so.
Hmm. I don't see it. It's okay. I'll just talk through it, and then maybe in the breakout session I could then find a way to share it somehow. So yeah, so with I'm with the customer programs and support services project. Well, support services group, I should say, and we have a number of projects coming up. There's some ongoing that has to do with infrastructure and facility renovations. We also have coming up this Q4 2021 into Q1 2022, opportunities in vehicle transportation and mobile vehicle maintenance services, as well as more in 2022, our projects involving third-party material management, solar panel RFI, HVAC maintenance services, sweeper services, and freight services. Let's see, what else do we have? And the rest are ongoing. We have design and print RFP, as well as our Riverside biogas facility upgrade, our hydrogen 2 cost study RFP. And then in 2022, we also have opportunities in site assessment and underground storage tanks. That's it for now. Thank you.
Natalie?
Hello, I'm assuming I can be heard now.
Yes, you can.
Oh, fantastic. Hello, everyone, and thank you all for the invitation today. And, you know, much has already been said. Vaughn has introduced, of course, SoCal Gas and DBE as we do, and of course, explained exactly her role within the company, and Victoria. And myself, and excuse me, Emma, myself, I support the above ground storage locations for our gas operations group. And so, as you know, we have a number of storage fields. Most famously would be our Aliso Canyon storage field, which of course we had a unfortunate gas leak some years ago, and that has just recently been resolved. But the upcoming jobs that we have are plentiful in that we are doing a lot of inspections of all of our gas storage tanks, both above ground and underground. We are also doing some abandonment of lines that are going into some of those storage tanks at least 2 facilities, one in La Goleta, which is our La Goleta, say that 3 times fast, storage facility, as well as our Honor Rancho facility, which is located in Valencia. Much of the work that we've been doing lately has been involved with high pressure, either pipelines and or keeping those high pressure pipes active while we're doing tank maintenance. But that is not to say that there's not a lot of opportunity to work with some of the primes that are on some of these jobs, because the roles and the aspects of the work that needs to be done, I'm assuming, and I'm almost 100% positive, that there's plenty opportunity for DBEs such as yourself and small contractors such as yourself. It is going to be my role and my focus, as well as the other champions here, to ensure that you all are made very well aware in advance of what these opportunities are. So as I see the names coming up in the chat, I'm assuming somebody is going to provide them to us all, and we can discuss this further as we do the breakout rooms. And feel free, I don't believe I put my personal information in there, but I can go back, and always feel free to reach out to me directly.
Thank you, Natalie. So Angela, I thought it might be a good idea as far as formatting, if we did some open dialogue. That way the individuals who are participating on today could have an opportunity to really share and address any specifics that might be out there. Is that an appropriate format or? Uh-oh, she's muted.
Well,
Okay.
That sounds good.
just to go through the upcoming projects, Emma and I didn't talk about it.
Okay, go ahead.
Is that okay? Before
Yes.
Angela steps in, we can't even hear her.
I read her lips. She said that's fine.
So first of all, as Emma noted, one of her responsibilities, I also support environmental services with the new hydrogen and biogas. Thank you. So I mean, as you all know, Salka Gas is moving to a clean fuel future, and hydrogen is a big thing in the company. So we are actually having quite a number of hydrogen and biogas projects coming up. And so part of environmental services strategy for the next couple of years, I think Victoria and I work very closely with. She is our contract support together with another colleague of hers. So we do work very closely. She did mention site assessment. That is under environmental services. It likely is an RFP that's coming up next year. So that involves hydrological engineering, geotech engineering, and contaminated soil management. That's what site assessment involves. And that RFP actually most likely second quarter of next year. That's a big one for us. It hasn't been issued since 2015, I think. So, and then we have underground storage tanks. Those are the fueling systems for Salka Gas. We have over maybe 92 facilities that have underground storage tanks for fuel. So that is another big RFP that's likely to be coming up next year. The business unit is still trying to determine the logistics of that. And then we have every almost 5 years, we do an RFPs, like 4 different RFPs, major RFPs for hazmat, emergency response, hazardous material transportation and disposal, and asbestos abatement and industrial hygiene services. So those are likely to be coming up either end of 2022 or beginning of 2023, depending on what the business unit wants to do, because those are really difficult, challenging RFPs that require a lot of time. And between environmental services and supply management, we normally don't have enough resources. So that's what's coming up for environmental services. Thank you.
Thank you. And Emma, did you have any opportunities that you wanted to add before we lead into the next portion of this program?
Just to kind of piggyback off what Ann said, there's a lot of renewable stuff that we're working on. It's kind of, right now it's being shared between, some of it is coming to my team in major projects, and then some of it is actually being handled by CPSS portfolio, which is the one Victoria is under. So the upcoming opportunities, as I mentioned, is mostly of our compressor station major infrastructure projects. So we're breaking them, our contracting strategy, it differs based on compressor stations. So the opportunities, a lot of them are getting ready to move into EPC, which is engineering, procurement, and construction. And we're bundling that, and it's gonna likely be bid out to a prime. So the opportunities are gonna be in matching the DBE companies with some of our prime contractors, because that's where, anything from logistics, from inventory, and the projects are so vast that it's hard for me to even list all the different functions. However, we'll work with DBE to make sure that we do break out those functions, so that if any of the suppliers on the call now can fit into those, we might be able to, because one thing when we go out to EPC, we try to provide our EPC contractors with certain DBE companies with whom they can work, right? So that's part of like the partnering up. So our biggest thing is pretty much just compressor stations, EPC work. That's gonna start. The Honor Rancho compressor station will likely hit RFP in Q2 of next year. Right now, Moreno is out out in the market at RFP. So the evaluation process will likely take a few months, and we will be going into contracting likely Q2 of next year as well. So that's whenever I would suggest, or that's when we want to start gathering information and making sure that the DBE companies are working with our primes as we get closer to selecting a major company. So it might be easier if anyone has any specific questions. I'd be more than happy to answer them, but high level, that's what we have coming up in my portfolio.
Thank you, Emma. So, ladies and gentlemen, one of the goals for today is to, one, inform you, two, to allow you to interact, and three, to give you an opportunity to learn more about what's going on in the utility world. If you've attended the first three sessions, this is the climax or the pinnacle of everything that has been put together: the certification, the do's and don'ts, the rules and regs, the opportunities in other utilities and whatnot. We had Frontier Communications, we had Golden State Water, we had American Water, and the CPUC. So today, given the fact that we were the sponsor, we felt that it was a good opportunity for you to learn more about what's going on within our own entity, SoCalGas. So in order to do that, you've heard from each one of the representatives that work within the various procurement areas of SoCalGas. What I'd like to do now is give you an opportunity to present either your questions or to introduce yourselves and address anything specific that may be on your mind that may have been missed throughout this training. The representatives that are here before you today have very detailed knowledge of the internal operations of our company. And I just want to make sure that you leave with an understanding of what next. And so without further ado, I am going to ask that if you have a question, first you raise your hand. Second, when I call your name, take yourself off of the mic, off of mute rather, and we will allow you to go forward. So at this time, the platform is open for you, the listening audience, to participate. Who's first? Is everyone shy?
I'll go first.
Okay, Theodora, good morning.
Good morning, and thank you very much for hosting us, for sharing all this information with us, for just arming us by bringing this arsenal of talent from your within SoCalGas to actually give us the information that we need so that our businesses can actually make some inroads within with many of the opportunities that you guys have. So one of my questions is, my company provides local worker participation services. We provide labor compliance services, and we also provide project labor agreements. I understand that SoCalGas projects don't have project labor agreements, but you do, from what I understand, are interested in facilitating local worker participation on your projects, and most of your projects, at least construction centric projects, engage labor compliance services. So is there, I know also I would not work directly with SoCalGas. And so I guess my question would be, how do we connect with the GCs that actually build your projects? Because I know usually those numbers, that information is not publicly shared. How do I get connected with the personnel within SoCalGas that can let me know who the GCs are for specific projects for the kinds of services that my company provides? Sorry for the long-winded question.
That's okay. That's okay. I'll start, Theodora, by first saying that if you did not get a chance to attend Meet the Primes 2.0 last week, you missed an incredible opportunity to connect with about 14 primes who are working on major projects within our organization. I'm more than happy to share that deck with you after this call. I'll actually send it to Angela to share with the entire GLAC community. That's first. Second, I would say that to identify specific industries or individual companies that you would want to work with, you would need to have relationships with everyone on this call today, because the projects come up at various times. And when they do come up, you want to be one that they can call on to get involved with that particular service need. Finally, I would say that it's imperative that I forgot the new name of your company, Mindful Integrated of Construction Services. Is that the new name of it?
It's mindful integration of construction services, absolutely.
Okay,
So, yeah,
perfect,
thank you.
perfect. Okay, so when you do get involved, it's very important that you start creating those relationships. I know you've been around for a minute in other industries, and now you've launched your own company. So in doing that, I want to make sure that you begin to cultivate relationships with one, supplier diversity. Right now, that's a show of one, me. Hopefully some others will be hired soon, but so we need to make sure that we partner as much as possible. And that doesn't just mean phone calls or emails. We can actually have some online dialogue. We can have some chats. We can have some face-to-face encounters. I'm boosted, so I'm ready to see you at a coffee shop if I need to. But it's very important that we begin to cultivate those relationships, because what happens is that the opportunities may not always present themselves in the form of something in writing. It may be sometimes that a business unit will call and say, you know, I have a smaller project. I am not going through at a formal RFP process. I don't want to deal with all of that. It's a sole source opportunity. Who do you have that I can work with, or that you can pair up with this supplier or that supplier? So knowing us on a more intimate level is the very first step. And after that, everything else kind of just flows naturally. I know you're probably used to, on the government side, going through 99 and 100 steps. We might have 99 or 100 steps, but they don't always come into fruition. It's sometimes on a case by case basis. Natalie, Emma, and did anyone want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I'll just second what Vaughn said. I'm hoping that in the near future we'll have some kind of platform that is external facing, where our suppliers can go in and maybe we can list kind of like our ongoing projects, something we can, you know, think about, Vaughn, where people can see kind of is what we're working on. But the best way is just kind of like Vaughn said, just keeping that relationship and just staying connected. Things happen very, very quickly. We go from, you know, a lot of our projects, like they tend to move really, really quickly. But like I said, if you have any questions, me personally, you feel free to send me an email, and just kind of like letting you, I guess I could say this now, because do we want to say like specific projects?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay,
Go
yeah.
ahead.
So like, for example, just to give you like an example, and I was actually looking at the comments. I see that there's someone on here who does connected homes, which is like, I believe it's probably like the hydrogen. I'm working on a project for that, which is, you know, the hydrogen renewable projects. It's like big visibility. It's all throughout the news in SoCal Gas. So that being said, we actually just got our GC for that, which is going to be ARB. So it would be the time for, you know, to start building those connections. They committed to a pretty sizable amount of DBE. So we want to hold them to it. So the opportunities are open for that right now. And, you know, we do a lot of work with ARB. We work with a lot of engineering companies. The companies that we're going to be contracting to for the major work are actually the primes are going to be the engineering companies, but they're going to go out and partner up with the construction companies. So there's double opportunity there, right? You can reach out to the engineering, the Burns and Max, the Floors, Worley Parsons, whoever it is that we go with, and then the construction companies with whom they were partner. You know, and those are kind of like the big fish, but we also have a lot of small projects where the opportunity, where I think if you're trying to kind of get familiar with the major projects team and just, you know, have a little bit of interaction with some of our PMs, the opportunities will be, it might be a little bit easier from a strategic point of view to kind of go after those smaller projects. So, so yeah, just staying in contact with supply management, being patient. One thing that I did that I failed to mention early on was that we, SoCalGas recently launched ERGs, which, and one of them was like Black employees ERG, with actually, I think all 4 of us that are in the car are actually active members of the ERG. So another thing that we are doing is highlighting Black and African-American suppliers, right? So we have monthly meetings where when we can add suppliers to come in the agenda and speak in about their expertise, because the company's so big and we work on so many different projects that I may not exactly know what Anne and her team need, right? I'm in my bubble of construction major projects, but there's so many other people in the company with whom we can connect. So please feel free to reach out to any of us. We can put you on the agenda. You can go out, just give you more exposure to the company, right? You just never know. I'm a big believer in casting a wide net and then seeing what comes back. So yeah, just connection. If we've done anything by now, networking is kind of like the way to go, right? It's knowing a lot of things is great, but who you know, that's really where it's at. So yeah, just don't be shy, stay connected, reach out. If you don't get a response right away, I would just continue to be persistent. Sometimes we get a little busy. Sometimes in my head, I replied to your email, but I really didn't. So please don't hold it against me. Just please feel free to reach back out, and we will try to connect you to, if we're at the appropriate party, we'll point you in the right direction.
Thank you, Emma.
This is Anne. I wanted to add to what Emma was saying, and actually just to distinguish myself, I am the only non-supply supply management person on this call. All the rest of them are all in supply management in various departments within supply management. I am one of their partners, the business unit that they support. So I actually work on projects, so I can tell you that a lot of SoCalGas projects. I work a lot mostly on major capital projects and renewable gas projects, also RNG and hydrogen projects. A lot of our projects are third party. We are installing a gas line on behalf of our client. So I can tell you that it depends on who the client is. Sometimes we'll be working on a project and the client says that it is we're required to provide prevailing wages for that project. So it just all depends, Theodora. It's hard to pinpoint that all SoCalGas projects require prevailing wages or labor union rates. But if we have that requirement, we do provide prevailing wages for that project. So I just wanted to give you that distinction. Is not most SoCalGas projects are actually third party, unless it's one of our facilities like Emma was discussing about the compressor stations. So those are actually SoCalGas initiated projects.
Thank you, Anne.
So Theodora, this is Natalie. What would be very helpful would be a white paper or a presentation of the services that you provide, because unlike Emma, I deal with some of these smaller projects and contractors whom I feel could greatly benefit from your services. It could be some of our larger primes may already have something in place, but I can rest assured you that many of the other contractors don't. But I would need to understand what services you clearly provide.
Ladies and gentlemen, trust me, I am all over you guys like white on rice. Fair warning. Thank you. This is perfect. Thank you for helping us. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. The next question was coming from Barbara McGee. Barbara, are you still there?
I am. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. I just want to thank GLAC first off for providing us this opportunity. I want to also say hello to some of the professionals that I know personally. I want to thank SoCalGas for allowing us to have this opportunity to speak to you. I'm actually here at the AGC meeting in Indian Wells, speaking on diversity today. So wish me luck. But I
Good
just want
luck.
Barbara McGee, we were with Barbo Services. We are power street sweepers. We provide water trucks and environmental services. We've worked with LAWA, we've worked with LA Metro, and we'd love to be partnered with SoCal Gas. My question is, we are signatory to Local 12, and that's the hot topic here in Indian Wells. As if it's the PLA that you're going to sign with, or is it going to be with one of the unions to provide the support? So my question is, do you partner with signatory companies like ourselves? Thank you.
Emma, do you want to take that one or you want me to take it?
I'm going to defer that one to you because I don't know, know the answer.
Okay. So to answer your question, Barbara, we do partner with some signatories. There are a few signatories that are actually being mentored by the supplier diversity group. So I would say for you to send your capability statement to me, I'm going to put my email address in the chat. I'm sure Angela will provide it to all of you later, but since it looks like you are on the move, I'm just going to submit it right now. That way you can get your information over to me, and then we can set up some time to talk in greater detail, because I'd be interested in learning more about your company, as we do a number of things. Although I represent supplier diversity, because a portion of our business is subcontracting, we work with a lot of signatories and primes to actually achieve our goal. Our goal was 38% last year. However, we're a little zealous in our progress, and so we're at 42% for 2021, and I understand that next year is going up to 43%, and then by 2025, our new CEO, who's a former supplier diversity manager, is looking to take it to 50%. So love to talk to you.
So, Vaughn, I had a question for Barbara. She mentioned environmental services because she had asked me about street sweeping and vacuum trucking services. Most of those services would fall, would be contracted with a prime contractor like ARB, because they're the ones who do the street sweeping after construction or during construction, just to ensure that there's no environmental, I mean, they're complying with the best management practices of a project. But she mentioned environmental services, so I didn't get what kind of environmental services her company provides. Maybe she can be a little bit more specific other than the street sweeping vacuum trucking service.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yes, we provide, as we said, power street sweeping, which is the mechanical broom. We also provide the parking lot, which is a smaller broom. And then we also do the dust control, which is with water truck, that is pre-construction, that is post-construction. And then we do some cleanup, but that would not include hazardous materials.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I think that would fall more under prime contractors, the pipeline contractors, who do that kind of, who do the construction for SoCal Gas. So they would be the ones maybe to connect them to, and that is under, I don't know whose portfolio that is. I think Emma.
Actually, Anne, it's each of our portfolio's responsibility to align contractors such as Barbara with the primes. Yes. So if we know them, it's like, oh, you're going to need dust control. We want you to reach out too. So it's each of our responsibilities.
Thank you.
And Barbara,
so much.
to add to that, Barbara, I don't know if your company does smaller projects, but I can tell you that from time to time, we get calls from our facilities managers looking for companies that do sweeping. They call it lot sweeping or something to that effect, whereby at each facility you have to sweep the area of brush and debris and the likes thereof a couple of times a year. So that one I do know. I've been in contact with facilities for. So when I get your information, I'm more than happy to make the introduction to two of the facilities managers who's called us and asked for that information.
Well, thank you so much. We're humbled and we're excited to share our information with you. And
you're welcome. Okay. Do we have any other questions? Oh, Monet, I see your hand up.
Yes, thank you so much for having us this morning, Black. First of all, thank you. And of course to SoCal Gas for this wonderful time with you today. I say it's wonderful because it's always great to be in your presence. So thank you. First, I want to introduce myself again. Omni Livingston, owner of O2 Engineering, Projects and Construction Management. I think our name speaks for itself of what we do on top of project management, construction management, staff augmentation, and most importantly for SoCal Gas, one of the things we also do is project controls and support services for architectural design, engineering, and of course, construction projects. We've been very fortunate to have our first contract with SoCal Gas this year. And my question lies in this, we're trying to navigate our way around having our first contract with SoCal Gas. We're navigating around, getting to know the project managers within the firm. So one of the things I would like to do is, if it's possible, I think I heard you say we could potentially make an appointment to get some exposure and give a presentation of what we do. I would love to do that so that we can get more exposure to the project managers and letting them know the contract that we're on and see how we can navigate through the system and being successful within the projects that we have right now with you.
Thank you, Omane. So I will tell you one of the things that I'm planning. Omane, as you are aware, Supplier Diversity does numerous of technical assistance programs, and in some of our technical assistance, we sort of navigate to info sessions and the likes thereof. So for Q1 of 2022, we are planning to partner with many of the business units and supply management to put together what we call Showcase Point One. We call it Point One because everything we're doing now is taking it a little bit higher. We've already had a showcase, and so we're going to do a Point One. And the purpose of Point One will be to allow suppliers who are actively contracted with us or who have had contracts within the last 24 months to come in, present themselves to both the primes and the business units, talk about what they do, why they do it, and then if they are currently under contract, it would be the perfect opportunity for you to begin to cultivate that relationship with those particular business units who are present so that they not only know who you are, but they know that to utilize you, there's already an open agreement.
That would be phenomenal. Thank you so much. And I just want to say good seeing you again, Vaughn and Emma. I know I've met Emma and Anne before. So thank you again. Really appreciate your continued support. I mean, you guys are phenomenal. Thank you.
It's our pleasure. Are there any other questions in the audience? I can't see everyone. My view is a little bit off. So at this time, if you have a question, just speak because I can't see all of the screens anymore. Hearing none.
I don't see hands up.
You don't see hands up? Okay.
No.
Well, then hearing none, I will just say that if you have further questions or if you find that you have a business that can partner with SoCal Gas in any way, please feel free to reach out to us. I know many of you who are on the call, you may think, well, I'm not in the traditional role that supports gas companies or utility companies. I would venture to say you are. Why do I say that? Because as a former procurement agent and one who still works with procurement side by side, I know we get requests for everything from janitorial services to window washers to street sweepers to catering services to creative services. And that's before we even touch contracts on construction and engineering and innovation. So you might even be in a service that provides swag. We probably need you for something. When you think of SoCalGas, please don't think of us as a pipeline construction or gas company. Think of us as an enterprise that requires all of your help to build that enterprise. And so whatever your service is, even if it's real estate, our facilities team may need to talk to you because we may either be in the need to bring on some real estate, or we may have an emergency whereby we have to contract with someone to pull together some emergency housing. You just don't know. And I say that sincerely because too many times suppliers eliminate themselves from the game before they even enter the game. And you do not need to eliminate yourself. If anything, you need to celebrate yourself and brag on your excellence and who you are, because that's what keeps you in the game. Out of sight really is out of mind. So don't ever hesitate to say who you are and what you do. But when you do it, make sure you do it with a sense of knowing yourself that it can make a difference in some kind of way. So study SoCalGas. Go to the CPUC's website and look up our annual report. It will give you everything that we're doing for the next 5 years. It's at cpuc.ca.gov and click on supplier diversity. You'll see ours, you'll see Edison's, you'll see Golden State Waters, you'll see American Waters, you'll see Frontier Communications. Everyone that's been on this training for the last 4 weeks, they have an annual report that outlines everything that they're doing. Don't eliminate yourself. And I say that also because there was a supplier who I met in Sacramento this week who said, I can never do business with you. And I said, well, what do you do? He says, well, we fix cars. I said, well, we own cars and we need to service them. So why can't you work with us? Make a long story short, sometimes you think that because your field of business is out of reach in your mind and you can only do small business, you mistake yourself and you shortchange yourself. So don't do it. Whatever you do, try to make an impact. And sometimes you're going to be told no. But Pam Isom, who's on another training that we're doing today, she always says no means new opportunities. And so you need to embrace those new opportunities, because no for one project might mean no, but let me take your information and refer you to someone who can use you. So that's the mindset that we have to adapt going forward. If you've got nothing else out of this 4-week training that GLAC has so graciously allowed us to sponsor and they've provided, I hope you got that you are a winner in whatever field you're in. Because you had the staying power, you are a winner. And so whatever profession you're in, it applies to somebody. Otherwise, you wouldn't be in business. You didn't get into business because you woke up one morning and say, oh, I'm tired of working. I think I'm going to do this. You got into business because you saw a need. You saw that someone in the industry needed your services, and you hoped that by that one person needing your services, it would grow and matriculate into other areas. Stop doubting yourselves and start making sure that you transition into those other areas. It might be solar, it might be hydrogen, it might be wind, it might be gas, it might be electric, it might be water. Hell, it might just be a whole nother industry that you found that your business can go into that hasn't even been on your radar. So starting today, do that. Think about what businesses you want to be in. Think about what industries that you can penetrate. And then think about what your mark is that you're going to make. And once you do that, start calling us. I'm of the belief that if you don't call me, you don't want to be bothered with me. I don't take it offensively and I don't take it personally, but I feel sorry for you if you don't call, because we talk to people all day long and we find out about opportunities. And believe it or not, there is one supplier who has so much work that they can't even do anymore because they call so much. And sadly, we don't have people to pass it on to because we don't hear from people. And I'm not of one who goes to a list and just starts looking at names and randomly picking suppliers. I really do value relationships, as most people in the supplier diversity space do. If you've ever attended anything related to supplier diversity at the CPUC, you will learn that the individuals in this industry, they strive to offer opportunity, not just because of a goal that we have to meet, but because of a determination that we have for you as business owners to succeed and thrive. I don't like walking in communities and it's bleak and the businesses are closed. I want your doors to be open. I might not have no money to shop with you, but I might know somebody who can. So do what you can to make a difference, and we'll do what we can to make a difference. With that, Angela, is your speaker working? If not, I'll turn it over to Naomi.
Thank you. It's not. You can't hear me, can you?
I can hear you.
Oh, you can hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, I got. Thank you, Vaughn. You did an excellent job moderating. Yeah, this was great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And so I think that's it, unless we have any upcoming opportunities or events. Naomi?
Yes, we'd like to share with you all that we have our upcoming holiday mixer at the SoFi Stadium. It is a member-only event on December 9th, so you'll be seeing information going out for that very soon. We thank you all for joining us today and look forward to sharing our calendar with you for the 2022 calendar year coming up soon.
Yeah, that's right. Our membership, our holiday membership mixer on December 9th at SoFi Stadium. And so it's members only that will be invited, and we have a limited number of seats available, but you'll be able to come and dine with us and network, and then we'll be taking a tour of SoFi Stadium, and we're touring the private suites that, we normally don't have access to, also the Rams and Charger locker rooms, and then we'll also spend some time on the field. And so the really don't want to miss type of event. Appreciate it so much. And those of you that are on the call that are not members of GLAC, we encourage you to join. We've got a great program lineup for 2022. Again, we'll be bringing some fabulous workshops from Vaughn and SoCal Gas, as well as many others. And so I encourage you to join us and stay connected at www.glac.org. And so with that, I think we're done. You guys have a fabulous day. Again, someone said it, happy Veterans Day. Happy holidays, happy Thanksgiving, all that good stuff, blessings and holidays. All right, you guys, thank you so much. Take care. Thanks again, Vaughn.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Thank you.
Stay connected, everyone. Stay connected.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. Thank you all for being here.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.